Hi everybody, I'm Vanessa,
Hi, I'm Jacinta.
and this is Strange Colony.
Strange colored.
Eee.
We take you on a journey each week through Australian true crime and other stuffs and things.
Words and things.
Words, things, stuff. Right. So, for those who are not already aware, we have a few announcements that we need to make. Firstly, our trio has recently become a duo due to creative and personal differences. Don't do that. I'm going to laugh my ass off. Just want to get through this section so we can move on to the business at hand.
Okay.
But we will continue to be making content of the same vein that we've been doing, hopefully in a more raw and only slightly filtered format. So we're really looking forward to it, and we think this will be a good change for us. And more excitingly, dun dun dun, we're currently playing with a format that allows visuals on YouTube. So hopefully, if I don't completely screw up the editing, we will be releasing full videos from here on out. Just, good chance for our viewers to get to know us a bit better, because you were missing out on this before. Anywho, I will pass the mic per se back to Ness. What have you got for us today?
Tea.
Gatorade.
Me.
Oh, jeez.
So today I have a story about the Kaipo compound, which is situated in Kaipo. Funnily enough, who would have thought it?
That's kind of
It's in
forestry area south of Adelaide, isn't it?
Correct.
Right.
Correct. Very foresty.
Very forestry-like.
Very forestry-like.
Forestry.
This is all the stuff that got edited out. You'll get to listen to it now. Yay!
But yeah, no, I remember I've been to a wedding in Kaipo Forest. It's freaking gorgeous out there.
Lovely.
But we're not talking about the pretty wedding spot today, are we?
No. So, the Kaipo colony originally started out in the 1930s, but not as what we know it today.
Okay.
They were originally a rehabilitation center. A rehabilitation center to help men maintain their dignity and help them get into their workforce and things like that. 1930s Depression era.
I've never heard of this before.
No, neither did I. I went on a learning journey. I learned so much. And I used to live in South Australia, so
I've spent my whole life except for maybe 2 years here. It's just like mind blown. 1939. I only heard about the Kaipo cult when the property went on for sale. Like, I literally never heard of it before.
I had heard of the cult when it went down because my son was 2 and I lived across the road from my grandparents. My nana came over. We were talking about it all the time.
Bish, how come you didn't tell me about this?
We probably did.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Remember back then? No? Okay.
But you were saying, sorry, I digress a lot.
So it continued that way, like into the 80s even, until the state health minister decided it wasn't doing what it was supposed to be doing and it all got shut down.
Oh.
Yes.
Was it actually not doing what it was supposed to be doing, or was the state minister just, cutting costs?
Probably cutting costs, I dare say.
Okay.
But the land has always been owned by Agape Ministries, as far as I could trace it back. So back to the 1930s.
The fuck is Agape Ministries?
They are a church. We will get into it.
Right.
Well,
I
kind
will
of
wait and let you
church.
take me on this journey.
So, I'm just going to have to read because I suck at remembering things lately. I can remember the past. I can't remember the current. Go figure.
Short-term memory loss. Very Dory.
Yeah. So, the Agape Ministries is also known as Kaipo Colony and Kaipo Cult, but not to be confused with the other Kaipo Cult, which we will cover in another episode.
The actual?
Yeah, there's another one.
I didn't know there were any, and now there's two.
From back in the 30s and all that sort of stuff, like none of those original buildings remain. It's all been updated. It's pretty flashy.
Really?
Not really, but kind of. It has this really nice outdoor dining area. Like if you want to eat dining styles, but camping styles, it's like outdoor kitchen.
Glamping, right.
Yeah, glamping. Masses of dormitories.
Yep.
And the main house would be normal if it didn't have a hall with a raised platform at the front.
Sure.
But as with all cults, they don't spawn out of nowhere. And this cult began with a dude named Rocco Leo.
Is that his real name?
As far as I'm aware, yeah.
His mother and God named him Rocco Leo.
He was born in Italy, so let's not judge.
I figured that, but he sounds like a cartoon character.
When you think about it, he kind of is.
But did she know that when she birthed him?
Probably not. Do any of us think that about our children? Don't answer that.
Okay.
So, he was born in Italy in 1956. I don't know when they came to Australia.
Okay.
But I think this incident happened in Australia. It could have happened in Italy. I don't know. I couldn't find out. It was so hard to get information on this guy's backstory.
Yeah,
all of what I could find mostly was like all of the current stuff that is about any sort of current court proceedings and whatnot, and it was just wash, rinse, repeat.
Yep.
So it was hard. But apparently he had a drowning incident at the age of 6 where he actually lay dead in the water for, they say, 4 to 5 hours.
What?
Uh-huh.
I get
Buckle in for this ride
now. Because, like, at first I'm like, you're talking about a kid kind of almost drowning. You look really sassy and shit about it. But now it makes a bit more sense.
Yeah. So his mum did not see the drowning, did not know he was drowning for hours.
Uh-huh.
He's 6.
Uh-huh.
And he drowned in, like, a shipping canal. So they're, like, really, really deep.
Uh-huh.
And when she goes out, this is how the story goes. This is how they tell it. She goes and she sees him in the water, and instead of asking anybody for help, or apparently there's no one around to help, so she starts praying to God. Praying, and nothing happens.
I'm praying too for the strength to get through this particular part of the story. Sorry, continue.
So, nothing happens. So she gets up and she starts walking out into this shipping canal.
That's really deep because ships go into the canal.
And by some grace of God, she is walking and not getting any deeper in the water than hip height. And she keeps walking out. And she's not. And all ankle height? I don't know.
You've got to get the whole
all of those people who weren't there before to help Suddenly there's a bunch of onlookers, and they're all aghast. Like, they can't understand what's happening.
I can't understand what's happening.
She gets out to the water. She pulls her son in front of all these people who weren't there before. I cannot get over that part.
Come out of nowhere. They spawned. They only just logged in, all right?
I was thinking the exact same thing. And she pulls him up onto land again. And he's clearly very dead.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
And the onlookers are all like, call an ambulance, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's nothing more you can do for him. And she starts praying again. She's on her knees praying to God.
Uh-huh.
And again, by some miracle, the clouds parted, rays of sunlight fall down upon his body. Stop! And all of a sudden, he's sputtering water out, and he's breathing again, and he is, by the grace of God, alive again.
Oh my fucking God. Excuse me, I have to mute myself for a sec. I'm a coughing fish.
By all means, cough away.
Okay, we good. Wow. Okay, you may not have found much on backstory, but damn.
Did I sell it?
Yes, like that's a whole thing. I don't know how you managed to keep a straight face to tell me the whole lot.
I only broke once and you started laughing, so
I tried
I
so
did
hard.
good.
I tried.
So because of this, and growing up hearing this story, he believes he is made for great things in life. He is here for God's purpose.
Oh God. So it is actually his mum's fault. Got it.
We blame the mother, yeah.
We can actually, like, I mean, everyone always blames the mother, but in this case.
Oh, man.
Damn. Okay, I'm sorry.
I have a headache from researching this, so
I am
appreciate
not surprised.
it.
I am. Appreciate's not the word I'm going to use. Actually, no, I'm not going to use the word I want to use. But it's fascinating.
We're going to have all the believers come for us, you know that.
As long as they're trying to take the same tactics she did, I'm good.
Pray for us, y'all.
And I will actually put out a disclaimer. We actually have no issue with anyone's fate, but that's just an unbelievable story.
No, that's absolutely not.
I cannot stretch my imagination enough to not be beyond skeptical and find that hilarious.
Yeah, look. He definitely wasn't drowning for that long. And even if he came up dead, I doubt it was the grace of God that revived him. Anywho, fast forward through his life. We are now in 1979. When was he born? 54. So we're in our 20s now.
Go math.
Yeah, that was a struggle. That was hard. That's why I didn't give an exact number.
I'm sorry, I work in retail. Like, I can't math right now. I've been working out 30% all day.
Oh my gosh. All right. So 1979. He is it graduates or attends Bible college here up in Queensland.
Okay.
And so in the 80s, I'm sorry if y'all can hear that. My son's just outside the window. Imagination playing.
Yep.
Yeah. Voicing all his internal dialogue. Bear with us. So yeah, he studies Bible stuff. He gets a bachelor in ministries and goes back home to South Australia.
Cool.
I didn't
Very
even
cool.
know we had these things.
What, Bible studies?
I was like an actual college for it. I
Yeah,
grew up
there
in
we
a
go.
Christian household and I did not know.
I had an ex who wanted to study theology to basically create his own cult. So I knew.
There you go. There you go. So he starts just living out his life. He's pretty active in, his church community, and he's known as a selfless person. He'll open his home for anybody. He'll feed you, all that sort of stuff. Like, builds a really good rapport with people around him.
Mm-hmm.
In, true cult leader fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And people are wording him up like, you should start your own church.
Uh-huh.
Start feeding and stroking that little ego a little bit more.
Yep.
Not so little ego. Let's be real. Now, I'm not sure how the property came into his hands, but I dare say it's through this Agape Ministries. I'm not entirely sure which division of Christianity they represent, because as far as I could dig, they're cool with all.
Uh-huh.
So, as long as you're of Christian faith, it doesn't matter which branch, they like you.
Okay.
And so he then has the Kaipo compound. And all of these people start to follow him. And, the power gets to his head a little bit. And he's looking for more control and all that. I don't know how much of this is, actually consciously done within these cults. Like, how much do they actually consciously go, what can I do here? Or is it literal paranoia?
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
So he starts preaching about an end of days, an Armageddon, that's going to happen in 2012.
That's the next logical step if you're a crazy person with a cult.
Yeah. So it's all through the 90s and the early noughties that he was building up his following. And so he's preaching an Armageddon's going to come, blah, blah, blah. They're going to microchip humans, which that still may or may not happen, Armageddon or no.
Yeah, it could be seen.
There's going to be human concentration camps, and he's telling all his followers that they need to help him generate enough money to buy an island in the Pacific where they can all get away and be safe.
Okay.
So they're saying that there was about 40 to 60 who were true devotees. But there was more than that outside of it. There were those who lived on the compound as well. There was about 40 of them.
Far out, yeah.
Yeah. And then there were those that were spread out throughout all of Adelaide and Victoria as well.
Yeah.
And people were donating their entire estates, not just the 10% tithing, but my car, my house, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I can't remember how many properties it was, but they ended up with a fleet of 13 vehicles. I think it was 10 properties, something like that. It was a fair whack in assets.
Yeah. Sorry, my kids have decided now's a good time to run around.
So they had all their fleets and all these properties and all that sort of stuff. And after a little while, they become a little bit known in the media. Things like their family members just being concerned about the welfare of people living on the compound.
Usual cult stuff.
People being concerned about the welfare of their vulnerable family members. who are being potentially being taken advantage of by the church that they're a part of. Things of that nature. And because there's a lot of children involved as well, always. Yeah, so there's children living on the compound, there's children who attend this church and all that sort of stuff. And some of the stories that are coming out, we're starting to get a little bit worrisome. So, especially in regards to girls' safety.
Oh, that kind of...
Yeah, so like preteens being betrothed and offered up to older men within the church.
What the fuck is it with cults and trying to marry off child brides?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't get it.
I
am disgusted every time I friggin' read it. Woosa.
And when was this happening?
The early noughties.
You've got to be fucking kidding me. In Australia. In
Australia.
Freaking just outside Adelaide.
While we were living there, yes.
Holy hell.
Yeah.
Wow.
The advertiser even reported on it, but they were never front page news.
How is that not front?
Not that I can recall. Someone's probably going to dig that up and tell me that they were and prove me wrong, and by all means do so. But I didn't see anything that was front page.
I don't think we have enough followers at this stage for someone to go through the effort, but yeah.
One day it could happen.
You're right. And then I'll point out that they're backtracking years worth of...
It's fine. So there was one particular grandmother, I didn't write down her name, but her name is mentioned, like there's no privacy thing, it was just me being stuck with notes. Yeah. But she even made reports to Families SA.
Right, yeah.
Nothing happened.
We here know is super useful.
Yeah, super.
Super.
So, of course, nothing happened about that. But in 2010, the police started raiding properties that were associated with Agape Ministries and the Kaipo cult.
Right.
And in a shipping container, they found firearms, ammunition, det cord, explosives, and extendable batons.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Now, I have found so many different reports of different numbers. That's why I'm not saying numbers on how much it was, because every newspaper reported differently. But there was a lot. Yeah. When you consider shipping container. I don't know. I could not find out how they found out about it. But obviously people kicked up enough of a stink that they investigated.
Although I can't help but say it does my head in. Child brides did nothing.
Yeah. Det cord and explosives. I mean, admittedly, they were training the children to use them. And the firearms too. But
they're training them to do all sorts of things quite clearly. So
how is that
even remotely a stretch?
I don't know. I don't know what goes through their minds.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if it's a red tape thing.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but... I mean, you're right. We're not here to get into the efficacy of the State Justice Department or Child Protective Services.
No, and because we don't know the inner runnings of them, I don't think it's really sort of for us to judge.
I do think it is kind of natural to be angry that this wasn't investigated more thoroughly, because that's a pretty hardcore accusation, quite frankly, and to leave that just a rumor without any follow-up is anger inducing. But yeah, no, I mean, we don't know what actually happened, but I'm not going to do that too much. It makes me angry.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that was in May of 2010.
Yeah.
But earlier in April, I believe it was April, our pastor Rocco Leo was charged with assault for assaulting a parishioner at the Adelaide airport.
Someone who was trying to leave?
Mm-hmm. Because he'd spoken out.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So after all of this came about and they've done their raid, then they're trying to find Rocco. So the assault happened, the raid happened.
Yeah.
By the time the raid happened, they did not know where he was.
Of course.
There was all these things about they knew where he was, they were tracking him down, blah, blah, blah. He'd actually fled the country. Dude's in Fiji.
It is in Fiji?
Currently, yeah. Is in Fiji. Right now.
Okay. Right. So what happened to everybody else?
Well, there are those who support him, of his parishioners, and those who, after he had gone, after reconnecting with their families and getting back into society, realised, like, okay, and they don't support him. So there's like two groups.
Of course.
And in November of 2010, I think it was, the Agape Ministries was stripped of their tax-exempt status with the ATO.
Hang on, how long had they been a ministry for? Like, when did they start?
In the 80s.
Okay.
So like 30 years.
Pretty solid time. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So what is that? What happens there? I don't understand.
So churches are tax exempt from the tithings given to them.
Yep, that better.
But once that is stripped, and he was charged with fraud as well for not being a church and for defrauding his parishioners and all that sort of stuff. But the tax gets applied to everything that they got.
From how long back?
All the way back. His church currently owes the ATO $4.1 million.
How much would the whole Agape?
I don't know. I know that his house sold recently. Probably not that recently. And it's just a Campbelltown home, regular, average 4-bedroom, double garage home, and it sold for $1.75 million.
How? Even in this housing market?
Probably because of the history there. I actually found a dude on YouTube there's an abandoned home that is associated with Agape Ministries, and it's completely run down, but he just did like a walkthrough of it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how he found out about, how it was all associated and stuff like that, but some of the properties have been left to absolute shit. And some have been sold up, and so many people are suing him, like ex-parishioners. There is a woman who had a seizure and was disabled. She actually won her court case.
Okay.
She got awarded $420,000 plus costs on top.
Okay.
But she's still now Rocco Leo.
Okay.
But she now has to fight the courts. Like, she's already spent money in the courts. She now has to fight in the courts to have the money released.
I don't get that either.
Oh, they froze his assets and bank accounts.
Of course.
Because
that
of the
makes
fraud
sense.
charges.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. I should have said that, like, back with the whole tax exempt thing. They
No,
froze everything. They wanted all the records from him, his wife, all of his close associates. Like, they were going through it.
Damn.
Yeah. So there is another man who wants to sue him for $700 and something or other $1,000, and he's like, I want everything, including my toilet paper. Every time I read that headline, I had the biggest giggle because pandemic. And even though this is pre-pandemic, I'm like, you cannot but think about toilet paper. Toilet paper.
Was he actually?
According to the newspaper headlines, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Mr. Leo is countersuing him for something else, and I couldn't find out what exactly. But I'm like, you're just trying not to pay. You really are.
Also, how he be freaking engaging in counter anything when he's wanted for fraud he's in another country?
He has had lawyers over here that were operating on his behalf.
Uh-huh.
His lawyers have now abandoned him. And he's still obviously not appearing at court and all that sort of stuff. Like, all the shadies.
Yep.
All. So, according to Agape Ministries.org, I want to make sure I get this right if you want to go check it out. I'll find it eventually. Agape Ministries International.org.
Okay.
They go through all his backstory. They can tell you currently what he's doing. They skip over all the drama from Adelaide. All of it. He is currently working as a missionary in Fiji, funded by Swiss bank accounts, being fed by some bingo thing run by a loyal parishioner in Switzerland.
Uh-huh.
And those two parties of the follower, still supporters and the ex-supporters are battling in courts over the money in that bank account.
Oh, this is fucking messy.
Oh, it is so messy. So messy.
Not my kind of messy either.
No. And most of what I could find was all about these court battles, and again, it is just the same old shit, and there is no outcome yet. There's nothing.
And given the amount of people involved and the fact that it's in the courts, of course there's no outcome at this stage.
So that pretty well concludes our story, except on an interesting note. The Kaipo compound is currently up for sale. The ATO is definitely looking to claim their money back. It's up for auction. If anyone wants to throw in a bid and then come donate it to us as a...
Yeah, come on, help us start our own cult.
Exactly. Come donate it to us. Come record with us. It'd be fun.
You know that some eccentric millionaire is going to be like lapping that up at some point, surely.
Surely. I mean, I did see Chinese newspapers with the reporting of the sale.
Oh, wow. Investors, got it.
Yeah, so yeah. I don't know what's going to happen there. Be interesting. I would really love it. It actually looks like a really nice property.
Yeah, but you know, all the child grooming and the potential to blow the place up.
None of that's there anymore. That's, all we have going for you on this story.
Pew pew.
if you would like to get in touch with either of us two weirdos, you can email us at strangecolony@gmail.com or hit us up over on Instagram at strangecolony 2.0. Well, we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye. Mwah.
I love you. Bye-bye.
I love you. Bye-bye.